Come in, said Mr. Shivshankar, as Siddha opened the gate and came in. Mr. Shivshankar subjected him to a scrutiny and said to himself, "Doesn't seem to be a bad sort. At any rate, the fellow looks tidy." Here Mr. Shivshankar is thinking about that the persons whom I am just going to employ in my house is not so bad fellow at all. "Where were you before?" he asked. He was interrogating, he was just inquiring about the identity of the person, Siddha. Siddha said, "In a bungalow there," and indicated a wake somewhere in the doctor's house. Siddha is just telling that, not clearly, that in a doctor's house I used to work in his house. "What is his name?" "I don't know, master," Siddha said. "He lives near the market." "Why did they send you away?" "They left the town, master," Siddha said, giving the stock reply. Here the stock reply means that a ready-made reply. Okay, here a response that people often use, especially when they cannot think anything more interesting or original. That is a very stock reply. "They left the town, master," said Siddha, giving the stock reply. Mr. Shivshankar was unable to make up his mind. Mr. Shivshankar was in a hesitant mood. He didn't understand that whether the fellow is telling truth or not. He called his wife to make sure that whether Siddha is genuine one or someone who is not truthful. She looked at Siddha and said, "It doesn't seem to me worse than the others we have had." Here Shivshankar's wife is telling that they had previously many more servants or the person they employed, but this person seems to be better than the other persons. Leela, their 5-year-old daughter, came out, looked at Siddha and gave a cry of joy. "Oh, father," she said, "I like him. Don't send him away. Let us keep him in our house." And that decided it. Their daughter Leela, she fell in love with the servant Siddha. She assured that I liked this man. So according to her wishes, it was decided that they will employ Siddha. Siddha was given 2 meals a day and 4 rupees a month, in return for which he washed clothes, tended the garden, ran errands, chopped wood, and looked after Leela. It was the activities that is done by Siddha, and in exchange of this, Siddha was given 2 meals, means 2 full meals in a day, and 4 rupees a month. And what he had to do for this? He had to wash clothes, attended the garden, means he take care of the garden, and ran errands means news, exchange some informations, and chopped wood. Sometimes he cut the woods and looked after Leela. He just take care their daughter Leela. "Siddha, come and play," Leela would cry, and Siddha had to drop any work he might be doing and run to her. As she stood in the front garden with a red ball in her hand, his company made her supremely happy. She flung the ball at him and he flung it back. Actually, they were playing when the child play with some grown-ups, they also become their friends. So here the friendship between Leela and Siddha is being narrated. And now the ball into the sky. Now throw the ball into the sky. Siddha clutched the ball, closed his eyes for a second, and threw the ball up. When the ball came down again, he said, "Now this has touched the moon, and come, you see here a little bit of the moon sticking." Leela keenly examined the ball for traces of the moon and said, "I don't see it. You must be very quick about it." Siddha, just throw the ball just into the sky. Just throw high, and when the ball again come back, the Siddha then told that, "Don't you see the moon is stick into the ball? You please see it minutely." And then Siddha said that, Leela said, "I don't see it. You must be very quick about it, because it will at all evaporate and go back to the moon." Siddha at that time said that it might evaporate, it vanish. Okay, and you are as quick that it vanishes. Now hurry up. He covered the ball tightly with his fingers and allowed her to peep through the little gap. He just hold the ball tightly and in between the fingers, he just you told Leela to look at it whether she could see the presence of the moon. Oh yes, said Leela, I see the moon. But is the moon very wet? Certainly it is, Siddha said. What is in the sky, Siddha? God, he said. If we stand on the roof and stretch our arms, can we touch the sky? The little baby is just asking the questions. And actually, the little children are very prone to ask many questions. So, Leela is also asking the questions like that. What can we see in the sky? So, and also asks that if we stand on the roof and stretch our arms, can we touch the sky? Not if we stand on the roof here, he said. But if you stand on a coconut tree, you can touch the sky. Have you done it? Asked Leela. Yes, many times, said Siddha. Whenever there is a big moon, I climb a coconut tree and touch it. Does the moon know you? Yes, very well. Now come with me. I will show you something nice. They were standing near the rose plant. He said, pointing, you are the moon there. You see the moon there, don't you? Yes. Now come with me, he said and took her to the backyard. He stopped near the wall and pointed up. The moon was there too. Leela clapped her hands and screamed in wonder. Scream means loudly cried. The moon here, it was there. The moon was here, it was there. How the moon is moving? How is it? I have asked it to follow us about. Siddha said in a very grave voice that I asked the moon to follow us. Leela ran in and told her mother, Siddha knows the moon. Actually, she was excited to just get the, such kinds of, miracle things like that. As a little baby, she doesn't understand what Siddha is showing her. At dusk, he carried her in and she held a class for him. Leela started class for Siddha. So she had a box filled with catalogs, illustrated books and stumps of pencils. The pencil which is used and the little bit part is remaining. So that is the stumps of pencils. These are the some, stuffs that is filled in the box. It was her great joy to play the teacher to Siddha. So Leela is just becoming a madam. Okay, Leela becomes the teacher of Siddha. She made him squat on the floor with a pencil between his fingers and a catalogue in front of him. She just bound to take the pencil. Okay, Leela forced Siddha to take the pencil in between his finger, and what she wrote on the or draw in the catalogue, she instructed him to follow. She had another pencil and a catalogue and commanded, now write, and he had to try and copy whatever she wrote in the pages of her catalogue. She knew 2 or 3 letters of the alphabet and could draw a kind of cat and crow. Leela, just a little baby, little girl, she knew the 2, 3, 4 letters and just know how to draw a cat and crow. But none of this could Siddha even remotely copy. Siddha is unable to copy